kiss. Like
how cool is
freaky,
that?
styly, point blank days, like long hair and woo. That was funny.
Something she can keep for the rest of her life. Can't prove it.
So it was like, that's the latest story. I went out on my paddleboard. A friend of mine had an idea to go find whales. You see whales on TV.
Wow, on
they're
a
really
paddleboard?
big.
Yeah.
You guys see those pictures where it's like National Geographic.
Oh, yeah,
and there's the little tiny person and then the whale. Yeah. Okay, that's real.
Wow,
that's
really?
a real thing.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So you saw some?
Yeah. A friend of mine goes, let's go out and find some whales. We had some friends that were in a scuba lesson, so I said, sure.
On a paddleboard. I'd be down.
So let's go. So we get on these paddle boards, and he was a water experience, so I wasn't too nervous. But we go out on this paddleboard, and we go out past the buoy, which I think is probably quarter mile, half mile.
Are you out by Little Beach?
We are on Lahaina side of Maui.
Okay.
In the ocean.
Yep, in the ocean, outside by the Hyatt. And we go out, to me it seemed really far, like a mile out, half a mile out. I'm going to go with the half a mile and be conservative. And then he just starts making this sound and slapping the oar on. He's like, ooh, and just... Yeah,
really?
That was the sound. Like it was much louder, but he was like, "Oh, you're coming!
I'm coming. I'm going to do it.
And they're coming. We just saw them. They're here."
And so he makes this noise and
he's
slaps his paddle on the water.
And he's making this spit loud, really loud, and he's slapping his paddleboard or on the top of the water, and all of a sudden you see these bubbles. Now I have a GoPro with me and it's under the water, so I don't know, I can't see what's under the water.
Wow.
And all of a sudden
you got it strapped to the bottom of your board?
Well, no, I have it on the pole, so I think it was on my paddle.
Okay.
It's like down right behind the paddle, so it's like down in the water. So it's in the water, and I see a whale head, and I'm like, holy shit. And I sit down on my paddleboard, and you can hear me in the video go like, oh, I think I'm scared. I don't know, man. That whale went right underneath me. It was the mom. There was a mom.
You got it on your GoPro?
A nurse. I got it on the GoPro.
You could see it?
No, I literally looked it in the eye. Like, I was looking at it. Like, it went underneath of me. Like, let's say I was standing on this table where the rug is. I mean, that close. It was horrifying.
Ashley, you gotta get us a picture of that. We gotta
really
post
cool.
that
I haven't
when
really
we post this.
Oh yeah,
that is so cool.
Send it to me.
It was so neat pre and post, but during you don't realize how big those animals are. And there was a little baby and I think a nurse whale that was with it, and so that was really, really interesting. You get some stories like it was neat. You just I think don't realize how tiny we are. But yeah, it was, and then getting home and checking the footage, I didn't even know I got that until we got back. So that was really cool. So that's a fun favorite story.
That is
see lots
very
of animals
cool.
out there.
That's so cool.
I know. Yeah, squirrels.
I used to always think when I was diving, like, if I see a shark, I swear to you, I'm going to, like, suck in so much water.
My brother has done that before. He was out surfing, and they were on the surfboard, and he and another buddy, and his buddy's like, just wrap your fingers around the board. Don't get in. And they see a fin. He's like, yeah, that's a shark.
Yeah, we'll just
so he's like, if you move, if you put anything in the water, they'll think you're a seal and they'll attack you.
Yep, I've heard that.
So he's like, you wrap your fingers
and you keep
around
your feet out of the water.
and you don't do anything. And he said he was so terrified. And this shark circled around him and swam around, and they were just couldn't move. And finally, it swam off. And he said he didn't surf after that.
Yeah, that would scare the crap out of me.
I think part of it,
not good.
I think a part of all things like that is education, right? Mm-hmm. We have Maui is very, very sharky. We have a lot of sharks, but what kind of sharks do you need to be worried about?
Yeah,
so
the kind that are going to come and eat you.
Yeah, so there's three. There's three, and I've heard it as the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. So you have great whites, tiger sharks, and bull sharks. So
I've heard the same thing.
Yeah, we have a great white that comes around every now and then. That big blue. A really big one. She's out way far out there. They'll see her. She just came in between somewhere over in Oahu, but we don't have those. We don't have bull sharks. We have tiger sharks, and so what we mostly have is white tip, black tip, reef sharks. So last year in Oahu, I was surfing off of Diamond Head at Tongs, and was getting comfortable. Came to the inside a little bit. Got into the whitewash, caught a wave, looked down, and there was probably an 8-foot shark, like as big as my surfboard for sure. Just catching the wave. I'm on top, she's underneath. I'm like, wow, okay. And you think you would be scared, but then in those your brain works so fast.
Yeah.
Instantly I go, I know that's not a tiger shark. I know I'm over reef. I know that's either a reef shark or a white
And they
tip.
get that big?
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's,
Wow.
8 feet. That's what, a 6 foot window?
Yeah, that's
So
I
you
guess you're
figure
right, that's not that
7,
big.
8 between tail. Like, I mean, it's 6 to 8 feet.
It's big when it's up against you, but like if you think about it in the reality of
and
like a
they're
20-foot shark, which is
skinny
realistic.
Yeah, I mean,
on a
tiger
surfboard.
sharks, you're looking at like 14 feet, 20 feet, 16
Wow.
feet long. Like there's a big one that hangs out. And tiger shark, I mean, you're looking at like as big as this area versus, something that. So in that moment, I just go, oh, well, okay, it's not going to eat me. But still, I told my friend, I was like, hey, you didn't believe me.
She just put a fin up against her forehead.
Well, there was a couple. That time
yeah.
I was just kind of out there by myself. That time I was just, I think, cruising by myself. So I told some of the people that were with me, and then I just got out. But it's like, I'm done for today.
That'd do it.
But I don't know. In all the years of being there so far, haven't we get kicked out of the water all the time for it. Somebody's board got bit last week or two. I don't worry about it too much. The chances, we are more likely to die. I believe the statistic is these chairs that we're sitting on are 6 times more likely to kill us than a shark. So,
Especially if you don't get in the water.
totally,
I watched
a couple
Jaws
bottles of wine
too many times.
Yeah, that movie ruined everybody. But
That ruined-
so
I
there's
love
things
that.
you have to worry about. Definitely animals, but Hawaii doesn't have any natural predators on the land, except for humans. So
No, but they do have like coral reefs, which we talked about the other night, which was one of our most embarrassing moments. You'll have to listen to the show, Ashley, to hear it happened in Hawaii. But anyways, any closing thoughts, Lori? Any questions? Or?
Well, I think, Ashley, you've had such an interesting life.
I feel like we could
And
turn this into a
you're-
Joe Rogan. We're gonna go.
You're
gonna
not
have to
40
extend it to
yet.
3 hours.
I mean,
my
what's
gosh,
to
I
come
love
for
him.
you?
36, 2 minivans.
What are you most passionate about right now?
I think that's my biggest problem is that I have a lot of interests in a lot of different areas and you just don't have enough time to dive into them all. And so I love just being a complete surf bum. I love doing beauty. I love social projects, like homelessness here is an issue.
Yeah.
Drug use here is an issue.
Yes.
I mean, look how tiny this is. We're sitting, so for the people who aren't here, we're sitting at the top of a hill where we can see down into the valley, and it's not that big of a valley. I think, how many people do we have here now?
Oh, jeez. In Salt Lake City?
Is it 1 million or
It's
a couple
gotta be.
million?
It's got to be over 1 million.
But
It's big to me.
just figure, working together, it shouldn't be that hard to conquer some of those issues here. I know we've got air pollution issues, and so those things are super interesting, but it's hard to place that passion. So I think...
So you're a little bit of an activist?
Yeah, for sure. I'm not going to go get arrested for activism, I don't think. But
no.
maybe. I mean, it depends on the...
But you care about your community.
And you put
care
your
about...
feet-
For sure. And
Put your feet to
and
what you
what's
care
nice
about.
too is in Salt Lake mainland when I'm here, I'm mostly working. But then if I am in the Pacific Islands, I have a little bit more free time to focus on that. So I have been talking to some friends lately about maybe getting involved in some people projects. Or I know we have some big issues with the telescope right now. That's a harder one. But as far as Maui is concerned, we have 170,000-ish residents, and we can do a lot with that. We can become sustainable. We can figure out what our problems are and how do we fix them. But the biggest issues is figuring out how to show the profit in fixing problems.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's
And
part of it.
profit is what propels
Yeah,
change, I
right.
think, which is unfortunate.
It's too unfortunate.
But if we think of money as a tool instead of an
Yeah,
evil, if we
for
can use
sure.
money to propel change,
Yes.
how do we show companies that, how do we show these companies that doing waste management is beneficial? You just got to show them the numbers.
Right.
How do we show, the grocery stores that it's beneficial for them to get rid of the bags? You just got to show them the numbers.
Right.
Well, there's
Right.
there's other states that have no bags.
Yeah, Hawaii
They just
doesn't have
don't.
bags.
You go,
we
yes,
just
no,
banned
they don't.
styrofoam.
You're right.
Oregon.
They don't. Yeah,
Oregon's
Oregon
one.
doesn't either.
Next is no more plastic bottles. San Francisco just
California.
banned plastic bottles.
Yeah,
you know,
California
so
doesn't have bags
We're
all over
slow
either.
learning species, but I feel like we're getting. So I don't know. Mostly, I think I'm just here to guide and positively motivate people. And all.
Well, I love your heart.
Yeah.
I do. I love how much you want to help people and you care about others and the environment and yourself too.
Thanks.
Yeah, I love it. And you've done some really interesting things, and it was awesome having you on our show
Yeah,
just to
thanks for
talk about
having me.
some of
That's
that.
super exciting.
I mean, how many of us do roller derby, play in a band, go to Burning Man, do waxing, and I mean, there's a lot, and more.
Well, what we would call Ashlie,
life.
what we would call her is a Renaissance woman.
Yeah,
she truly
for
is,
sure.
and she's got a heart of gold, and she is always upbeat. They may call us scatterbrained sometimes because we can't pick one thing, but we've got a lot of passions, and you try to do a little bit in all of them. And I just love somebody like that because it makes you well-rounded.
We're levitators.
You know?
So somebody said, I don't know where I heard this, but it's levitators and facilitators. So if you can have somebody, I will come up with 1,000 ideas on this paper.
Yeah.
But I need you to get them done.
Yeah.
I need,
Yeah.
you know, I need people I can come up with. So I don't know what, maybe that's part of it too, is because creating, like, how do you make a team of like-minded, because I think when you're like that, you definitely attract, and that's how I met you guys.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Well, and we're going to be,
possible.
Sean and Lori are going to be working on you with a educational video coming up
we
soon.
do that. We should do that.
We're going to be doing,
We have one already.
yeah, she's going to be doing education.
Well, so we're drinking some wine.
We're going to do our wine.
We're going to do our review. So we've all, tapped our glasses and looked each other in the eye and said, cheers, salute.
Salute. And I've done my famous Marcos, I don't know what you call it, swirl. Here it is.
The smelling.
To
What
get
would
it
you call that sound if you had to
all
call
over
it
the,
something?
I don't know, Silent of the Lambs kind of thing. Where he goes,
Okay.
okay, that guy was sicko, man.
Okay, so what do you
Anyways.
think of this?
It's a little bitter.
It is a little bitter. It's not bad.
We did
It's
find out.
drinkable.
Yeah.
It is drinkable.
It's not a very expensive wine. When we looked it up, we just kind of chose it out. And we looked it up. It's only like $6 to $8 a bottle. So it's, on the lower end. But
it had,
bougie-
it had a rating of 85
yeah, so
out of
it's supposed to be
100,
good.
which is really actually pretty good.
Yeah. It's got a lot of cherry notes. I can taste that for sure.
Yeah, and
Even
the
at the
bitter
end, it's
fades.
sweet.
Yeah, it goes
the
into
end.
it definitely has a changeable, at first
Yes,
you have a
it does.
taste and then its aftertaste is, which is why I think I could drink it. But it seems to be it's a wine that you would drink a little bit slower.
I think so too.
And
or
it
maybe
does,
with a meal.
and also,
Yeah, for sure.
usually a lot of times your cabs, we kind of talked about this the other night, sometimes your Cabernets will dry your mouth out, and that makes you kind of want more. This
With
is
a drier
not.
wine?
This does not dry my mouth out.
Yeah, this is not dry.
Not
but
real
it's
dry.
not too sweet. But
Although
it's
in
not
the
dry.
back, there's
Yeah.
after you swallow, there's some.
Yeah, it's got a little bite to
It
it.
is, yes,
And
this
it's a
is
little heavier.
definitely heavier than what
Yeah.
we were drinking last night.
Yep.
And this one is called Meridian. It's from. Did I say?
It's a
Colombia?
California.
It is a California
It's
wine.
a California wine.
And
So it should be pretty accessible.
It is accessible, and like Lori said, it's somewhere between 6 and 9.
Yeah.
So if you go to the store and they want 20, tell them they are freaking out of their mind.
You can get bougie on a budget.
And get
That's right.
That's right.
We want to get bougie on a budget.
Get something else. But yeah, this one, let's see if I can read a couple of things about it.
Well, and I said before, I used to it was like a challenge for me to buy the best bottle of wine under $10. So
Now
you
this,
get a lot of California wines too.
I'll just give you what this note says. This wine has won many prizes. The 2007 vintage was awarded silver from the Los Angeles International Wine Competition, as well as silver from the San Francisco Chronicle Wine Competition. Only one of the critics that we track has sampled this California wine. This is one of the most popular wines from the region.
Except for it doesn't have a year on it.
Yeah, on
So
our
we had a
bottle,
hard time because we
don't-
looked all over the bottle and there was no year.
We have no idea
So
what the
It's
year
a
is.
mystery.
Nonetheless, it is a drinkable wine, and if you are on a budget, I'd say go for it.
Yeah,
it's the one you
it's
want.
good.
Yeah, and I feel like it would be a good dinner wine.
Yeah, definitely a good dinner wine with like steak or
Yeah,
some
that's what I'm
heavy,
thinking.
like a
if I had a
red
steak right now,
yeah.
that'd be really good.
Yeah,
Do you want one?
big
I can-
burger. Yeah.
Uber Eats.
10 minutes. Order, will be here.
Ashley, why don't you tell people how they can reach you? If you don't want to get your phone number, that's fine, but can they email you? Can they Facebook you? Can Instagram?
Salt Lake City, you can find us at Reflection Salon in Salt Lake City. Instagram is Aloha Ashlie, ASHLIE, or what other Instagram? Waxmaster Ash is one that you can find. And then you can find all other contact through there. Our band is Bombshell Academy. That's a ska punk band out of Salt Lake City. And
Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook is Bombshell Academy. You can just find that on there. And then
Very cool.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure we put those in the notes so